everyone! Welcome back to the Swarm. Experts agree that everyone on our planet needs to reduce emissions below the sustainable limit in order to curb man-made climate change. But we all know this will be a mammoth task without huge financial input, and it will take time that is quickly running out. Changing an infrastructure reliant on fossil fuels to cleaner sources is one of the key challenges. But what if in the meantime we could keep fossil fuels in the ground and use the excess carbon already in our atmosphere to fuel our combustion engines? German researchers are working on exactly that, using sunlight to convert carbon dioxide and water into kerosene. By concentrating solar energy to synthesize liquid hydrocarbon fuel from water and air, researchers from the ETH Zurich have the potential to revolutionize the industry. Capturing existing emissions from fossil-fueled combustion and repurposing them for a secondary use would cut CO2 emissions by as much as 90%. This would be a game changer for industries reliant on fossil fuels. How does it work? CO2 and water are extracted directly from ambient air and split using solar energy. This process yields syngas, a mixture of hydrogen and carbon monoxide, which is subsequently processed into kerosene, methanol, or other hydrocarbons. By extracting CO2 out of the air that was already released during combustion, the synthetic fuel is essentially carbon neutral. Right now, the project is still in its infancy. ETH Zurich has a solar mini refinery on its roof that has proved the technology is feasible, currently producing half a cup of fuel per day. The next goal for the project would be to scale for production to compete with the oil-producing companies. Ultimately, industries completely reliant on the fuels that provide a high energy release during combustion, such as the aviation industry, would transition existing infrastructure to be sustainable. Philip Furler, the director of Synhelion, has estimated that a plant a third of the size of the Mojave Desert in California could produce enough fuel to completely power the aviation industry. Ambitious plans, but necessary if we want to halt the effects of man-made climate change. This project, and others like it, have been compared to growing biofuels. However, removing the agricultural aspect greatly increases the efficiency. Much like meat grown in a dish, potentially removing carbon emissions from agriculture, and electric cars changing the automobile industry, synthesizing fuel from sunlight and air could save the aviation and maritime sectors from carbon emission destruction. Changing lifestyles to be more sustainable is one of the biggest challenges facing the climate crisis. But science is proving that it might just be possible to continue our current way of life without destroying the planet. Thanks for joining us, and don't forget to follow us everywhere to join the sustainable swarm.